The energy has been moving very fast over the past week. One of the guests on my Monday calls explained that it's a bit like a pendulum when the energy swings from the summer solstice to the winter solstice. The fastest point is at the equinox, when it's like when the pendulum has gathered the most amount of speed. And so last week, not only did we have a full moon in Pisces conjunct Neptune, which also happened to be conjunct my natal moon, we also had the equinox. And I also received the book, Not in His Image by John Lamlash, which inspired a video, Modern Mystery School, which I put out last weekend. It literally feels as though everything is dropping in very, very fast right now. And so much so that I felt inspired to make contact with John Lamlash. And I had a very interesting conversation with him yesterday, which helped me to make sense of a lot of what is unfolding. And this is one of the biggest questions that is put to me the whole time, is like, you know, there is this juggernaut of this great reset master plan, this hostile global takeover bid. And it's like it's pushing through and nothing can stop it. And people are trying all sorts of things. People are protesting. People are trying to take legal action. There's all sorts of groups being set up to try to stop this juggernaut, but nothing seems to be able to derail it. One of the interesting things that John Lamlash shared with me, which feels really important to mention, is that, yes, we're dealing with psychopathic, heartless monsters who are behind this, but it's very important to realize that these are non-human entities which are driving this through. Now, some people may say satanic. I've spoken a lot in the past about Paul Levy's work about Wetiko, which is evil energy. John Lamlash refers to it as archontic. Whatever word you want to use, the thing to realize is that this is non-human energy, which is driving home a transhumanist program. Now, one of the things that really landed for me in these realizations which have been dropping through, and I've instinctively been following this, all of these activities have the effect of pulling us away from nature, pulling us away from Mother Nature, from planet Earth, from Gaia. That's why instinctively I've always made my videos out in nature, out in the fields, out in the forests, by the river, because there is a tremendous power in being in nature. This is a key thing to realize. Nature is non-human, and nature is the highest form of technology on this planet. It's very easy for us to get detached from nature, from all things natural. And we are seeing it increasingly in this world. We're seeing the toxicity and the inorganic way of living being pushed through increasingly. And we're also seeing that in the way that healing, which traditionally was always holistic and in tune with nature and nature's plant medicines, it's all being moved into this inorganic, big pharma, chemical-based ways of healing us, or rather, they're not about healing us, they're about treating sickness, and in many cases, creating even more sickness, which increases the need for even more big pharma. And essentially what we are seeing is a planet out of balance. As we awaken to this, and as I've been awakening to this, I've just been wanting more and more to unplug from this inorganic world. A big realization is the need to unhook from technology. Now, technology is wonderful as a servant. This ongoing push for all things digital, even to the extent of making humans into transhumans. Now, to really understand this, if we open to transhumanism, what that means is, at a very basic level, is we've given up our human rights because we are no longer human. And this is all part of this archontic plan. So what is the antidote? First of all, the realization, the conscious awareness of what is going on, what is the true nature of this plan which is being bulldozed through, because it is moving us more and more out of nature into an inorganic, online, digital controlled world, which eventually will control everything about us, how we function, where we can travel, what we can eat, what we can purchase. I mean, it's serious stuff, folks, when you start getting into the idea of not just a vax passport, but digital passports which control everything, as in China. And of course, as our lives become more inorganic, more toxic, the levels of sickness are increasing. And so big pharma solution is just throw more toxic medicines to treat sickness. So now we have a national sickness service, and we don't have what's truly needed, which is a natural healing service. We're losing our connection to nature, and we're losing our connection to natural healing, because essentially we are becoming out of balance, and more importantly, the planet is becoming out of balance. Now, a lot of lip service is paid to climate change and global warming. I prefer to see it from a shamanic viewpoint, and that is that our Earth Mother, who is being poisoned, who is being abused, who is being cleared of all her resources, is desperately trying to heal herself. And the ways that Mother Earth heals herself are through the natural elements. So she's using fire, she's using water, she's using wind. She is attempting to restore balance on planet Earth. Now, whether or not you believe that viruses are man-made in laboratories or are one of the tools of Mother Nature to eradicate humanity from the planet, you could look at it from either point of view. But one thing is really clear: the planet is out of balance. And so coming back into harmonic resonance, coming back into balance, is really key to the solution. Now, one of the things that you will undoubtedly have noticed if you are paying attention is that the people who are in the mind control, who are in the mass hypnosis, which is being driven through by the media and by the governments and all of the psyops that is going on, people seem to be walking around in a kind of daze, in a trance, wearing their masks, social distancing, and it's like humanity and conscious awareness is being dumbed down. Whereas if you've ever been to a stand in the park, or you go to any conscious shamanic circle, the difference is noticeable. The people are heart-centered and vibrant and alive and connected to nature. And it's that resonance, it's that harmonic resonance which is really, really noticeable, because what is happening is that these evil archontic forces, the Wetiko energy, what it's attempting to do is create as much dissonance in the grid as possible. And dissonance is fear, it's anger, it's judgment, it's criticism. It's a contracting, dissonant energy which is pulling people off center. Whereas when you come into ceremony, when you come into harmonic resonance, when you go back into nature, what you find is that you are tuning into a harmonic resonance, a frequency which is healing, and it's benevolent and it's joyful. And so the more you tune into that resonance, that harmonic resonance, that resonance of nature, and you start to occupy that resonance, you really notice when the dissonance comes in, when you're pulled out of that, when you're pulled into anger, when you're pulled into fear, and you can feel it in your body. So it's a really good thing just to breathe, to notice it, to fully feel that. And there are lots of techniques you can use to restore that harmonic resonance. You can use music, you can use humming, you can chant the Om, you can sound Tibetan bowls, you can do breathing, yoga, and eat nourishing food, or just walk out in nature. And you can bring yourself back into that harmonic resonance. So this danger of being online and being constantly in this program is very real, and it's very present. And I'm conscious, even I now, I'm talking to you via a computer, via a digital platform to get this message across. But increasingly, I'm using these platforms to really beat the drum of meeting in person, forming your local community groups, keeping that human interaction, that real life 3D, 5D dimension as much as you can, getting out, meeting real people in real life, in nature, if you possibly can, so that you can keep those extra dimensions of human connection. It's so important right now. I've just also really been waking up to some of just these realizations, some of these spellings which are being embedded into society. For example, being online. The penny dropped massively for me, big time, because I often, when I walk Kobe by the river, there are fishermen. These fishermen have got really serious kit on, all of their, I mean, you could literally put a rifle in their hands. They are like hunters, except they're there with their rods and their fishing lines. And they're trying to get those fish on the line. They're trying to hook them on the line, because when the fish is on the line, it can be controlled. And so when you are online, be aware of the ability for the digital world to hook you in and reel you in. All of this is going on. And so creating conscious awareness of what is unfolding so that we can create the antidote to this. Use technology as your servant, but beware when it starts to become your master. This is a really critical time, folks, for us to create conscious awareness and to pattern interrupt this program, because we are being pushed into this transhumanist digital nightmare future, which, if we are not careful, is going to create a prison for humanity. Ultimately, that transhumanism, these jabs, they are all leading to a dumbing down of humanity and a blocking of our ability to connect to that higher power, to connect to consciousness, to connect to nature, to connect to the power that lies beyond the illusion. We have to be very aware of what is going on and to pattern interrupt and counteract this bulldozer which is forcing us all down this digital route. So I am here to sound the warning, to beat the drum, get back into nature, preserve your humanity, because nature is our best ally and nature is the most advanced form of technology. So with that thought, I am sending you so much love. Have a great day. Bye for now.